What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're dropping into another history video. I did one last time about WWF Hasbro figures. This time I'm talking about Masters of the Universe and WWE combined. Let's get right into it.
And the Masters of the Universe.
In 2019, SDCC held its annual Comic-Con. In this Comic-Con, Mattel usually has a panel, but this year was a little bit different. They wanted to come out swinging for the fences.
Hey, are you guys ready for the Masters of the WWE Universe?
With the announcement of WWE Elite Ghostbuster figures, Mattel decided to push on the 80s theme a little and get creative with the WWE Masters of the WWE Universe figures. It started out with one wave. This wave had Triple H as Skeletor, Sting as Clawful, you had Finn Balor, the Demon. This was a new created figure from WWE. You also had the Ultimate Warrior as Merman. Four great figures kicking off this new wave, which will expand to great immense.
That's the Ultimate Warrior! It is! Look at that! The Ultimate Warrior!
Mattel decided to make 3 rings through the entire production line. The first ring being the Grayskull Mania set, which came with John Cena and Terror Claw's Triple H, and then the Grayskull ring seen in this picture right there. The second wave for the line was the Rattlesnake Mountain ring that was based off Snake Mountain from the Masters of the Universe line. You came with 2 figures. You came with Hulk Hogan and also Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then the ring was purple, as you can see, and had snake heads at the top of the turnbuckles. These are 2 amazing rings that are phenomenal for the figures, and I'm so happy I was able to pick them up when I did. The third ring was the Grayskull ring, not the Grayskull Mania set, but this was the ring that was in the Grayskull set. It was just the ring alone. It does not come with the figures, and it has the 4 Wave 1 figures from it. Also at 2019 SDCC Comic-Con was announced Wave 2 of Masters of the WWE Universe. In Wave 2 was Rey Mysterio. You also had Roman Reigns, Randy the Macho Man Savage,
Yeah! Dig it! Yeah!
and lastly, Faker John Cena. Amazing wave, amazing figures. I do have this entire wave unpunched, and for a quick side note, if you don't know what unpunched means, it's when this little punch button right here, usually when stores get them, they put them on shelves and they put them on pegs, and when they push the peg in, this little piece of cardboard usually flies out or throw it away. But if you actually have this tiny piece of cardboard still left in the figure, it actually is worth more and is an unpegged figure, or in other words, unpunched figure, and it's more sought after in certain collections. In Wave 3, you had 4 more figures come out. You had The Rock right here. You also had Braun Strowman on the take of Beastman. Then you had a really cool figure, which I'm really happy that they made, the New Day. Now, something very special about this figure is in the 80s, the Master Universe made a figure called Manny Faces. This is him right here, and he has this little twist button where the heads would move. And he has 3 different versions. He has this monster, the robot, and then if you go back, it gets kind of stuck. You have a human head. So this one, instead of 3 different heads that were really kind of weird, you had 3 different heads for the 3 different members of the New Day. So you had Kofi, Xavier, and Big E, and they're all in one figure. You just twist a head and change it to whichever one you like. The last one, which is kind of the holy grail of the entire series, is the Undertaker as Scareglow. This figure is extremely sought after in mint condition. Mine is unpunched, as you can see, and I'm very, very glad I have this figure in my collection. It's one of the harder figures to get in great condition. Everybody loves it. It's a very solid figure. I think it's a great take on Scareglow, and I personally love this figure. Moving into Wave 4, you had another 4 figures released in the wave. You had The Fiend Bray Wyatt, may he rest in peace. Great figure. I love the look of it, and I love just the overall, like I said, look, it's a great figure. I'm very happy I'll be able to pick it up.
Pull up your pants and do the muscle man dance.
You also had Mr. T. You had a really cool figure, Jake the Snake. And something very cool about this figure is you can actually take his face off and turn him into a snake itself. And then he's got these cool actions. It's a very cool figure. I love it. I love the ability to take it off, and it's like a brand new character under it. Great take on a vintage Motu character. And lastly in the wave, you had Seth freaking Rollins. Great wave 4 to keep the line going. And now let's hop over to Wave 5. Moving into Wave 5, you had 4 more figures come out. You had the man, Becky Lynch.
Has been paid for by the New World Order.
You had NWO Macho Man take on before that look with a little bat symbol. I love this figure. It might be one of my personal favorites in the entire wave. Love it. You also had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with his dragon back here. And then you had Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. 4 great figures. Again, one of my personal favorites is the NWO Macho Man figure. So yeah, let's hop over back into Wave 6. Moving into Wave 6, you had 4 more figures come out. In this wave, you had Stephanie McMahon as Evil Lynn. You also had Ultimate Warrior. I know he is supposed to be somebody from Motu. I just can't say it off the top of my head because I don't remember. So go ahead and drop in the comments who you know, if you know who he is representing in WWE Motu. I do know he is the heroic character of WWE Eternia, so I'm pretty sure he's one of the He-Man sort of characters. So yeah, if you know, drop in the comments. Next, we have Goldberg as Ram Man. Ram Man was a character from the original Motu line right here, and he has a little trick. There's a little button on the back of him right here, a little green button, and he actually launches out.
Ram Man's power. I'll get us inside him.
So yeah, Goldberg is Ram Man. Then you had Kane. Kane is representing the character Roboto from Masters of the Universe. As you can see, he has the extra set of hands back here, and he has the robot hand on this one right here. So yeah, he is Roboto. So let's go ahead now and move over to Wave 7. Moving over to Wave 7, Mattel was actually struggling with sales due to Wave 6 on getting these still out on shelves. The interest of WWE Motu was kind of declining, and they knew they wanted to do something, but sadly, this is where it kind of took a nosedive. Wave 7 was released, but it was considered to be the hardest wave to get out of the entire series. And in my personal opinion, I think it's the best wave. So in this wave, you had 4 figures again. You had Bret the Hitman Hart as Triclops. I love this figure. Triclops is one of my favorite Motu characters. He's right there on my shirt right there. Great figure. I love his glasses being the little headband that Triclops has. So yeah. Next, you had Junkyard Dog at Spikor with his little leash thing. Great figure. I love this figure also. Moving on next, you had Sergeant Slaughter as Man-at-Arms. Another great figure. I love it. And then lastly, you have the biggest figure in the entire series, Andre the Giant. He's so big, they didn't actually even put his feet on. His feet come in a separate bag that you have to attach when you take it out. But yes, he's the biggest figure and weighs the most. And this entire wave was extremely hard to find in stores. I personally had to get mine off Ringside Collectibles when they went out, and they sold out in seconds to minutes. people wanted these really bad, but sadly distribution was kind of lacking because of sales, and they were going to start canceling the series. Moving over to Wave 8, you had 3 figures in this wave, and I think they're great figures, but sadly this would be the last wave of WWE Masters of the Universe. This wave came out in 2021, so from 2019 to 2021, the entire series ran. In this wave, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he was Trap Jaw, which is right here on my shirt. You see with the little jaw, and he had the arm, he's Trap Jaw. You also had China as Evil Lynn, another great figure. And then lastly, you had Rey Mysterio as Stratus. 3 great figures to finish off the entire series. Personally, I wish they kept going, but I do know that sales were declining, and WWE and Mattel just really weren't going to make them anymore. And that sadly concluded the whole series of WWE Masters of the Universe. Sadly, you cannot find them in stores anymore, hence this being from 2021. And people had a kind of mixed reviews on them, honestly. Me, I love it. I have every single figure, I have every single ring that came out, and I think this was one of the best moves that WWE and Mattel made, because it really took the joy from the 80s and kind of brought it back. I know my dad, who grew up in the 80s and watching Masters of the Universe and wrestling at the same time, he loved collecting these figures with me. I'm a huge Masters of the Universe fan, and yes, I know I could have botched up some names or forgot who some characters were because there were just so many, but I think this was just an incredible run, an incredible series that they decided to do.
How do you feel, mighty Megatron?
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed just learning some of the history of WWE Masters of the Universe. Currently, Masters of the Universe is partnering up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like you see here. Kind of the same vibe as the WWE ones. I think this is another great move. I love Ninja Turtles and He-Man again, so I'm going to be collecting these.
Some takeout, so like, let's get down and pig out.
It's Shredder!
And it was just a fun wave and a fun experience to just hunt for them and enjoy seeing these on shelves. WWE now is pushing the Superstars set, which is kind of like, they're kind of look like the He-Man figures. I'm not really collecting those as much as I did these, but yeah, again, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. Go ahead, drop in the comments what you want to see next, what you want me to talk about. Again, if I botched some names, I apologized, and yeah, just go ahead, drop in the comments what you want to see next, and remember, keep collecting.